for a second. For some reason,
those
it's
who are interested. So, um,
just one moment. We're going to have to start all over again. For some reason, it did not
oh,
start.
okay.
Glitch. So no worries. And you're going to have to repeat
All right.
yourself, Cami. So I'm sorry about that.
That's
That
okay.
was on my end.
Practice round.
I know.
Practice round. It's all good.
Hi, everyone. This is Nia Claire. I am so glad you're here joining us today. And we are with Cami Thelander, and we are going to be talking about the Light Up event, which is coming this week. We're kicking it off on August 28th. And I wanted to give everyone a chance to meet all of our amazing practitioners who've said yes to this event, who are going to be there and sharing so much of themselves, giving samples of their work, or being able to participate with them in new ways. And so one of the ways that we are connecting and building community is getting to know one another. And so it is my delight and joy to introduce to you Cami Thelander, who I just met. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had a phone conversation. She was introduced to me through Amy Nesdal, who is a dear, dear friend of mine. And it was immediate for me. I will say, I just was like, I love this girl. She's amazing. She's got great energy. And will you please be a part of the Light Up? And so you said yes. And I'm glad you did. And so, Cami, I would love to have everybody get to know you a little bit. And if you could share with us who you are and the work that you do, and that'll be our start of this conversation.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here, and I'm so glad that we met. And I'm so excited to be a part of this event. My name's Cami, and I practice craniosacral therapy. And along with that, my jam is mindfulness and awareness and embodiment. So, with all of these personal development skills that, many of us who are working on ourselves, um, when we're doing this work, sometimes our bodies need to catch up with it. So that's kind of where my specialty is kind of getting our physical bodies and our nervous systems in line with the work that we're doing, our ascension, our waking up, all of the development that we're doing, and working to just embody that and get our physical selves caught up with that. So,
I'm
um,
going to stop you right there because that is so beautiful. Isn't I will just say this. I've been doing this work for a really long time, and one of the things people do is they are so busy trying to escape their bodies, their physical selves, not realizing that it comes along, that we take our physical body in this process as well. And so the fact that that is your work is so powerful. I love the way you articulated that. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I love that. I love that because I think it's so necessary right now.
I think it is too. And my background is biology. So I'm all about physiology, the way that the body works, and kind of taking that and merging it with this spiritual personal development thing of being in this human body and having a human experience. So I kind of take that background of biology, and I have a yoga background as well, and just really this idea of mindfulness and awareness and
Mm-hmm.
being present with our bodies so that we can incorporate these lessons and integrate all of the things that we're learning, and with the goal of living this present, mindful, hopefully happy, joyful life, even when things get intense or scary. So that's also something I'm really passionate about, is holding space for those scary and intense moments, particularly grief and death work. So I have a background and a lot of my own experience with end of life and grief work. And part of my goal is to incorporate this embodiment of nourishing the nervous system with craniosacral therapy and providing that stillness and quiet time to just tap in with your body and your energy and integrate all of the things that are happening. So that's my core of why I want to do this work, is to hold space for those hard moments, especially grief and death work, but just supporting people with being present with themselves and all the things that come up in life.
Oh, I love that. As I mentioned, it's so needed right now. And I think we're grieving on multiple levels. It's a lot of times when we think about about grief, we associate it with death,
Mhm.
but it's also a huge part of change that
Right.
we're all in the midst of. So the fact that you are doing this work, that you've incorporated or connected the death doula work that you do, which is about transition, along with really working on what is true and real in this present moment in the physical body, it's just beautiful. The word that's coming to my mind is harmony,
Mm.
bring us into a more harmonic alignment. And so I'm so excited. So you are going to be at the event, and you're going to be offering, as a practitioner, some sessions. So would you like to tell us a little bit about what you'll be offering at the Light Up?
Yeah, so I'll be there doing little mini sessions with the goal of really grounding into the space and the energy of the event. So I'll be doing some super quick, easy techniques. One of them will be at this space at the back of the head, which is at the occiput, and this space is called the Eye of God. And I love working at the base of the skull because it's all about our connection with mind and body, and this opening up of just being present and receiving and being able to stay open and connect with people. So I'll be doing a lot of work at the Eye of God at this occipital base there. And then I can also do grounding work. So if you're someone who doesn't love to be around people or in crowds and your nervous system has kind of a heightened reaction to that, myself included, I really benefit from grounding exercises. So I'll be doing some work at the sacrum and the hip space, which is really all about feeling safe in our bodies. So a little bit of pelvis sacral work with this opening at the back of the head, I think will just really open people up for being present and connected to the channel.
I love that. I have to tell you how great. I'm just like, and here's the thing: if you want to be there, you got to get. And if you want to have a session with Cami during the time, you got to get there early. So get there at 5 o'clock. Our full hour at the beginning of this event is for you to be able to go and meet and connect with these practitioners, so that you can get a feel for what they're doing. You can even, I will just say, my guess is just being in your space is going to bring people into a grounding energy and to being more present, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to invite you, is just creating this beautiful, beautiful space. So super exciting. And so one of the questions that comes up, I think, a lot with craniosacral, I had it years ago. Um, when I was first introduced to it, because I've had many iterations in this lifetime, but I was a massage therapist in my early 20s. I went to school in Colorado, and I worked with a craniosacral practitioner, and it changed everything about how I worked with my clients. I did that in polarity therapy, which I think you also are familiar with. Both of those really amped up my massage and body work practice. So when somebody says, "Oh, why would I go to work with somebody who does craniosacral or polarity?" What would you tell them?
The reason that I love the energy work with craniosacral therapy or polarity therapy is because it helps to release stress. And from my experience, stress is the silent killer, right? It's something we all experience, and it's something that our bodies biologically create stories around. So our nervous systems with our senses perceive the world in a certain way. We're constantly deciphering if something is safe or if it's dangerous, and our body decides that based on our experiences and our stories and our associations with life. And unfortunately, a lot of us have terrifying experiences that have ingrained in our nervous system a fear response and a stress response.
Mhm.
So the reason I love craniosacral therapy is that it melts away those holding patterns. It allows the body to release those patterns that say, I'm scared, I'm stressed, I need to fight or flight or run away, dissociate from the body. So it's a very trauma oriented therapy, because it allows us to reset the nervous system and have a fresh outlook on life that is more wholesome and feeling safer and feeling grounded in our bodies so that we can be really present. So from a biological standpoint, I love that it works on the nervous system and the brain to feed and nourish and give our bodies that vitamin, that supportive environment that we need to think and function properly. But on a grander scale of a human being that has emotions and a spiritual perspective, oftentimes those things intertwine, from the physical and the non-physical. And I think that this type of body work really meets both of those pieces, just coming together to merge and to just have a holistic supportive therapy that is aware of all of the layers of your being, from physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and just supports all of it in a very gentle, relaxing, nourishing space, in a space that your body can return to regenerate. This is activating our parasympathetic nervous system, which is all about regeneration and healing. So then symptoms fall away. People have less pain. People come to me with, they feel off. They feel like they can't think properly, headaches, body pains, things like that, that very much have to do with the craniosacral system in the body, yet that also has to do with stresses in our lives. So addressing those stresses can relieve some of those symptoms too. So that's why I love it. It just hits all the pieces.
Well, it's clear that you love what you do. You light up when you talk about it. That's all to me, that is the perfect way to be, because the work that we do doesn't have to be work. It's an opportunity, for us to share and do what we love and bring that forward in the world. And clearly that is in alignment for you. So I just, yay. And the piece that you're saying, I know I'm going to throw in a question, because I always try to prep people with questions. Of course, I mentioned I might throw in something else, but we are coming out of a 2+ year stress ball. That's what, we've called it everything. We've called it a reprieve. We've called it a break. We've called it, a nightmare, everything. Like, it's everything. And there's good and bad, but I'm curious to know if you've noticed how your work is helping people maybe even work through some of that internalized, physical trauma.
Yeah, I think this work is all about connection. And especially when over these years we've been taught that connection's unsafe. We've gone into isolation, we've been alone. And from that space, we're missing out on a lot of the support from other people that we really need. So even to just have a space where I can meet someone and connect with them in a way that's not scary, in a way that can be just receptive and open and nourishing, I think is something that a lot of us forgot that we needed. To have just caring touch that's gentle and present, I think is something that we're kind of getting used to again. And I love this work because we don't have to talk, just lay there, relax. Like, I don't need to hear about, you can tell me whatever you want, and connect deeper on those other layers. But just showing up is enough, because you're kind of signaling to your body, to your nervous system, to your higher self that, hey, like, I'm craving this connection again. I'm being open to this healing space and all of the things that come with it. So I think that's the main thing, is people don't realize how badly they need just a time to relax and to just be supported by someone else with a safe touch that can support all the systems of their body.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that right now, collectively, we're going through a deep loneliness, a profound loneliness. And, whatever story we want to put around it, I'm not going to get into the story part of it, but the fact that our entire system is longing for that connection. In a large part, that's what prompted the light up to even come into being. As I thought, what do I want more than anything? Now, I'm a raging extrovert, entirely a raging extrovert. Not everybody is like me, right? So I know that. But I thought, what would really make a difference? And a dear friend of mine said, Nia, you need to rest, but for you, rest means being around people. And I thought that like clicked in my head somewhere. And I thought, you know what, something's got to give. We need a way to make something interesting enough that we will get out of our own comfort zone that we've built out and be in each other's presence, be in each other's energy. And in your case, like, come over and get touched, actually get touched. I mean, we need it so, so desperately. And so definitely come early. Make sure you sign up for time with Cami and Amy. Amy Nesdal. Hi, Amy. I'm glad you're on. I have to find my glasses to read. That's where we're at right now. So Cami Thelander is amazing at creating and holding space to feel safe and nurtured and remind our body, mind, and spirit what safety and security feels like. And
Amy.
Isn't it wonderful? And if you have questions, if you're on and you have a question for Cami about what she's doing, about her work, or about how to find her, please post that. I will say you can find her information at www.bear, B-E-A-R, not B-A-R-E, B-E-A-R, foot, yogi.com. So barefootyogi.com, and I will type that in. So Cami, as we are wrapping up our time together, because it goes so fast, and you guys can keep typing in questions if you're listening. We'd love to get some questions. I'm curious, what lights you up?
Deep connection. Deep connection, I think that's really what I crave, and what I love this work for is meeting people where they're at and where I'm at, and all the things that we bring, and just having this human experience together is just, there's nothing more that I need. That's wholesome to me.
Good. Well, I get it, and I love that. And I think I can't wait for people to be able to experience you live and in person and be a part of this. And I just really want to thank you for saying yes to being a part of our first Light Up event. And if you guys have any questions, there's a spot right down here to get tickets. Just go to yeswordcoaching.com, light up. We are filling up fast. I love to be able to say that, but I also am sending that warning for those of you who like to kind of wait. I would suggest not waiting. It is going to be a blast, and you do not want to miss it. So please sign up as soon as possible for the Light Up. If you have any questions, you can post it in the feed. We'll be checking it afterwards. And Cami, I want to thank you for being a part of this and for taking some time with me today to share a little bit more about you.
Thanks so much. It's absolutely my pleasure.
Excellent. Well, you guys have a great day, and thanks, Cami. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.